I'll ask Miranda and Jane to join me at the table if that's okay.
Sure.
We may need a traffic engineer as well, so we'll just see. We may need to call one in depending on your questions.
Right. Okay. Do you want to talk to us, or do you just want us to ask any questions, or what?
You want to?
No.
No.
Okay.
You
Are there any questions of these good people, Andrew?
Relating to paragraph 4.6 on page 151, the Estuary Edge Master Plan is referred to as currently on hold. Can I just get some information, please, on where that's at the moment and its relationship with what we're looking at today?
So this, the Estuary Edge Master Plan is something that sits with the Chief Operating Officer's group. And in anticipation of that question, I have raised with Chris Gregory about the desire to reactivate that. And so the only information that I can provide you right now is that we have raised that they need to reactivate that. And
to staff in the coup that actually is in their current annual work program. I think it's due. They anticipate kicking off that in the new year again.
Right. Okay.
Sorry apologies for that, but
I
that's just
picked up on that.
Yeah.
One slight amendment to 6.4, which hasn't come through, which was, so that's page 152, and it was that the hearings panel notes the various concerns raised about the concept design for the Redcliffe Village Centre roading design in relation to minimum width standards and loss of car parking. The hearings panel as such recommends that there's urgent public consultation on the detailed design proposed for this area of the plan that incorporates the skirt works and the main road proposal. So that was a recommendation from the hearings panel. It's aligned to 6.4. I mean, I'm happy just... yes. Yeah. So it's basically just giving a little bit more clarity to 6.4. So it's not fundamentally different. I mean, it could just be reduced.
Can you give the wording in a format to the people who can do something with it so we can all see it?
It's the same, isn't it?
Pauline?
Would it be feasible at all to put a note at the bottom about the Estuary Edge Master Plan being reactivated in January? I know it's in 6.3, but because we've gone one step further than advocating for it now, it is actually signalled that it is going to be reactivated. Would it be worth putting a note?
Is that okay to do with hearings panel recommendations?
Or a note from
just
council?
adding a note from council?
I believe I'm looking at our procedural people, but I believe that would be okay because council are considering the recommendations from the hearings panel.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Yep. Then you can do that, Phil.
Thank you, Carolyn and others. With 6.4, I just my understanding of that is that the reason that the further public consultation is commenced is particularly because some detailed design work is required for the whole plan, and my understanding of the report is that's in relation, say, to where cars might park. Is that what we're talking about there in terms of the reasons for further consultation?
So it may be because the recommendation has come from the hearings panel.
Yes.
So it would be in response to submitters to the hearing.
And that's the reason, though, for the further consultation, that some detailed design work is required.
Yep.
In the main document, in the master plan document, what it said was that there will be opportunities for the community to be consulted as this was a high-level concept and as the detailed design, there'll be opportunities for public to engage in that process. So it's really just, given that this was the, this and Beachville Road were the two areas of contention, and there's a process underway to resolve the Beachville Road area, this was the other one that people felt it was important to signal that we do expect the detailed design to go up for public consultation.
Okay. Okay, so we now have in front of us Yanni's amendment, which, who else was on this hearings panel?
Sarah Templeton
okay.
and Adam McCloud.
Not here, okay. So we've noted that, and you want to note as well, Pauline, that the council notes that work on the estuary edge is...
Estuary edge master plan.
Master plan is...
Yes, so the wording is basically in this current budget and it's due to commence after Christmas.
Okay.
In the new year, I suppose.
1st of January.
So the council notes that work...
I'll make that sure when the part starts will start, but it is currently intended by then to begin that in the new year.
Okay, so it should read, Mike, that the council notes that the work on the estuary edge master plan?
Yes, it's intended to commence in the new year.
Right, okay, in the new calendar year. Right, okay.
Correct.
So moved Yanni and seconded Pauline. Okay, any further debate?
Speak to it.
Yep, you may.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you, councillors. This has been almost 3.5 years in the making, and so, you know, it's a pretty momentous occasion. The reason that council supported having a master plan for this area, and it was actually started prior to the coastal pathway, was that we recognised the huge amount of capital expenditure through both the repairs and the renewals that we currently had on budget prior to the earthquake. So there's a real opportunity to take a coordinated approach across this corridor. It is slightly unusual in terms of master plans in that most master plans were focused on very specific suburban centres. This one actually looked at the whole corridor because it was felt that this was a real area of opportunity. So there's a number of changes in red that have been asked for, and I won't go to those in detail, through pages 171 to 174. So you can see where we've just tried to get a little bit more certainty into the master plan, given that it has taken a wee while, and given that SCIRT are doing things in this area, just trying to a lot of this is just about updating current information and putting it into the master plan. So, yeah, thank you to the staff who have worked on it. Mark Rushworth is actually no longer with council, but we do appreciate that he did spend a considerable amount of time working on this, so we acknowledge his work and, of course, acknowledge the community for their participation in this process. I have to say, we had hearings, which was unusual. This was the first panel to actually have hearings as well in terms of our master plans, and that was actually a really good, useful process. So just for going forward, just a slight reflection, but as chair, I thought having hearings into this was really good, and it really enabled us to kind of tease out a few ideas with people as they came to present. So yeah, I won't go through any of the other changes, just to say I think we've come up with a good balance. There's a little bit more work to be done, but we're really keen to get on and get this in place. Thank you.
As they now are before you. Okay, moved and seconded. I'll put those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, carried. Thank you very much indeed. Right, go.